Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Sunday, the 28th of October. It was 22 degrees this morning, and it's about 1 o'clock. It just clicked over. It finally hit 50 degrees out here, but it's beautiful, crazy cold. One thing when it's cold like this, you never hear motorcycles going up and down the road. It's they're too wise to get out here in this cold. Especially when it's just get hitting 50 degrees. That sinks in pretty quick. But anyway, this is going to be kind of a chore day today. Going to run to Chehalis and get some shelves to help organize the RC car stuff, because they're kind of scattered everywhere. And I'm going to try to, we're going to get some gas too. And Kelly had needed something from the store. And anyway, we're going to just take a big loop towards Chehalis and back. Probably take the old war wagon. And anyway, and then I'm going to try to do at least part of the lawn here, because it's just, a jungle. Got to do something with it. But first, we're going to take the old Gen 8 V2. I was, sizing everything to see where I can place all this stuff and make this work. And I figured the high trails, the F-150 and the K10 were the biggest of the RC models. So I measured out this thing, and this is the same length, and only because of the light bars on top of the high trails is it not the tallest. If you take the light bars off, this is actually the tallest and equal length to the high trails. It's crazy, huh? You wouldn't think this whole thing. But anyway, hey, you remember last time I drove this thing, it was just sitting there looking all pretty. How did I keep them tires so clean? Dang, like really clean. But maybe I cleaned it up last time I rode it. But this is the Trail weighted wheels with those Proline BF Goodrich KM3. And these are also the Gen 8 or G8 compound. It's an old grinder sounding thing, isn't she? That's a good looking truck. Look at that. That would probably that's probably Sasha, because it's a little mixture of, look, it's all over it. It's got some static clean. But anyway, I thought I'd take this for a little run before we go. Man, them trail wheels sure do look good. Them are good looking wheels. And I think these are the ones that I ended up putting on Kelly's F-150 high trail. But I think hers have more of a gold, there's like a gold hue to them. These are more like a titanium kind of. I guess I can have kind of a gold color too, can it? But anyway, I was curious about this thing too. See how it makes the chassis twist? But it's a really long wheelbase on it. Just wondering if this thing needs to have an overdriven front diff on it as well. It almost seems like one of these trucks, maybe it could have been this. I have to look through the stuff. Seems like one of them actually had, see, look at how it's pushing it. Well, all of them kind of do it because it's that change of elevation there, even with the overdriven front. But one of these things almost seems like it came with a gear set to do that, right? Or am I just dreaming something? But the longer wheelbase on this one, the turning issues doesn't seem to be quite as bad. Or would that make it worse? I don't know. It's just, I've never really, don't recall driving this, but watch how it but this one, if you've ridden any road or watched any reviews on this thing, people complain about the way the Panhard bar, anyway, when the suspension goes up and down, the whole front end kind of shifts back and forth. They corrected it with the Gen 9, but that was just some piddly thing. People cry about whatever they can. It's funny, something comes out or whatever, and everybody just falls in love with it. And there's always that group of people that gotta find the negative in everything. It's like, wow, life must be a bummer for you. Did you see the good in anything? This is one of those that's just got enough weight and, I don't know, enough character to it. It's just so fun to drive. Another one is like pretty much all the ones I picked for the most part, because I'm huge in having them scale-like. But this one has one of those very realistic feels to it when it drives along. This one's got the Fusion Pro as opposed to the Fusion SE, which has a little better, well, I forgot that tail end hangs off like a mile. It's like that Defender hangs way off back there. So ultimately I threw a little subtitle thing there when I got inside, and after I talked to you guys when I was inside, and we went out, did a goodbye, and anyway, I went back in, was goofing around with stuff. That's the same one that I let the radio time out. And because it's not the stock radio, because it's a Spectrum radio that came with, but all that got taken out when I put the Fusion motor in. Well, those things will time out and shut the car off. The Spectrum will. Well, that aftermarket radio, it times out, but it doesn't turn the car off. And you guys remember I burnt the shift servo out of that same truck. That's why it has the aftermarket ones in there. But it burnt the shift servo out because the radio just turned itself off. Well, the car had nothing to hook to, and for whatever reason, it defaulted to a different mode on the shift. Well, because it's not moving, it couldn't execute the shift. Well, yesterday when I was talking to you guys before I came out, I realized the radio had gone to sleep. Well, it woke back up when I touched it. I going, and there's a brief thing in my head saying, didn't I burn a servo out because of that? Well, it didn't burn the servo, but what that bang, bang, that bang, bang, bang thing going down the hill is it's basically like a engagement dog on a gear, but it's done with a slider. And what it does, it shifts forward, or maybe it's back. I don't know which way it goes, but it's like a shift fork in a motorcycle transmission, and it controls whether it goes back, and I think it goes back. It might be, I don't know. Anyway, it locks the rear drive and disconnects the transmission from the dig function. So it just works like this. This doesn't have a dig or anything in it. So it doesn't even shift either. It's just a regular transmission. But anyway, when I seen that thing, it wasn't in the right spot. It wasn't all the way out, wasn't all the way in. So when that radio timed out, it put itself in a funk. And I didn't realize it had done that until, it was doing the weird things. What it was it was kind of halfway falling in and out of the dig function. So I don't know why it was freaking the car out like it was. And then ultimately when I was carrying it had just fully fell into the dig mode. And that's why the front wheels turned and the rear wheels were locked. I didn't realize they were locked. I just thought the shaft wasn't connected. I literally forgot about that I had put both functions in there, because it comes stock with just the dig servo and the 2-speed transmission disconnected. So they're both functioning, but it was the dig servo that was in a weird halfway point through its shift. And I'm like, okay, that's probably what that was all about. I'm trying to figure out how was that all binding and doing the weird stuff it was. I don't know, that was very strange though yesterday. But anyway, I was playing around with it, and just to be safe, I went through, because that radio is really easy to adjust and set the endpoints. So I just went back through and I reset all the endpoints for the shift, for the dig servo, and then I went back through and just double checked on the dig servo. Shift and dig. The dig is the one that I did first, but I'm watching the car and trying to talk, and my brain's not capable of doing too many things at once. apparently. Yeah, see, this one doesn't have the problem steering. Maybe it's slightly overdriven from the get-go. I don't know. I don't remember specs on it. I was about to say, it's really weird for this one to get stuck, even though it's got that long wheelbase. It always turns good, and literally, make sure that bumper clears. Never had any real issues with this thing, except for the rear. She's back there like a snowplow digging. But yeah, if you can, when you're looking at those Fusion motors, just save up a little bit, get the Fusion Pro. Overall, it's just a much nicer setup. And the slow speed, and plus you have higher speed. It's just a way better. There's nothing wrong with the SE. I mean, if you're on a budget and that's what you got to do, go for it. They're a fantastic motor. I have them in my early Ford Bronco, and also in Kelly's Gen 7 Redcat. Haven't ridden that one in quite a while. That's a really old chassis. That's going back to yesteryear there. Let's go play on the ramp here for a second. From where we left it, I just got up off the ground and came over here. She just makes so much noise. I think that's why I had that 2x4 sitting back there. Because watch, I don't think I can back out of this thing. Yeah, she does a lot of grinding back there. There's a thing you can adjust the wheelbase longer, so the wheels are farther back in the rear and farther forward in the front. And I guess it's one of the hacks people say to do to them. But, oh, I forgot this thing flashes in the camera. Oh, look at that. The frame rate's just right that it's not flashing there. Oh, I thought I'd seen it flashing on the back. Huh. But they can get set up that you don't see it. There's a big old galoot. But it always binds and twists the chassis on this thing in the turns. It's just so weird. Now it's flashing. But it's a really fun one to drive. And it's just one of those, it kind of reminds me of the Gen 9, I would say, is hands down the best performing crawler of the bunch. It just seems to go wherever you point it. But I've done a few things to that one too. But all of them are really nice, super nice. But the Gen 9 is probably the most capable of the scale ones. You know, I like them scale. And you can buy them specialty things that, you know, look like a spider going up beside the mountain. But that's not scale to me. If I got into that kind of competition or something, that would be fun. But yeah, I like it. Just a toy version of the real thing, you know. You know, that guy had his Scout 2, that orange one. He had that thing for sale. I haven't seen him driving it for a while. He may have successfully sold it. Hope that lawn dries out enough. The dew was just caked in this morning. But the sun came out, by probably 8 o'clock or so, most of the fog was gone. But it was so cold, everything was just white frost. It looked like it snowed out here. So now it's finally getting warm enough for all that to melt. And here we are stuck with the wetness still. Ice doesn't melt quite as fast in its solid form as when it's in its liquid form. It's not going to pick that back wheel up, is it? And I'm going to plow into it. You know, that thing falls. Back out of that. If it falls, them bricks have no mercy whatsoever. It'd scratch the heck out of the side of this thing. Anyway, I think I'll bail out on this, and we'll probably chit-chat on and off as we're on our little travels here, but yep. That's kind of how I shot the thing off the deal. I was trying to get a grab on the controller, grabbed a handful of throttle instead. But anyway, I know probably you guys got more comments about this green Scout 2 than the rest of them, but people, I really like that one. But yeah, green's cool. Anyway, let's start our little chore day. Look at this weather out here. What's my watch say? It is 52 degrees. So it never really warmed up. That feels warm when it's 22, and now it's 52. That's substantially warmer. It's looks like a female starling. Yeah. Well, head on back. We're probably gonna run out of time to do any lawn work. End up spending way too much time in the Home Depot. Oh, that Honda store, of course, you can't see it's behind the trees. But that Honda dealership, they fully built that thing over there. They spent forever. They literally... Now, which one of our dogs did that? Probably Danny, because I see cat paw marks walking around the hood there. He's probably trying to chase a kitty.
Probably.
Crazy old Danny Magoo.
All right. I'm not going to hurt you. I won't play with you.
Cat don't know that. Yeah, he is that old dog. Well, hello there, YouTube. There ain't gonna be enough time to cut the grass, which is probably a good thing, because we're halfway home, and we both go, I go, oh my, she goes, gas. I go, yep, gas. Forgot to stop and get it.
We brought the can, tied it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drove right past.
Yeah, drove right past. Guys said something about, she goes, that's weird, Jimmy's is closed. And just lost it from there.
Yeah.
I probably would have forgot anyway. Our mind was already somewhere else. But
yeah.
Anyway, so I'll work on trying to come up with a nice place to stash all the RC cars, and we'll work on that tonight. Do some inside work.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a nice day. It was nice to get out and God, we haven't done any like Home Depot type shopping in a while. Kelly did while I was on vacation. She got some of the same shelves that I got. That's what gave me the idea. I go, those things are small enough. She was trying to organize all her craft stuff, chemicals and stuff. I'm going, that would work great for those RC cars. I'm going to with a tape measure, measuring them all out. I go, yep, I can make that work. But anyway, on that, we're going to bounce.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Monday or Tuesday.
Heck yeah. Back to the old grind tomorrow.
Yep, we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, it's going to be another crazy cold morning.
Yep.
Boy, them girls aren't going to like going out that early in the morning. It'll easily be in the 20s when we leave.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we'll deal with that in the morning. All right.
All right.
Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.